YouTube family, what is up? Happy Friday. So we're back again. Today I got Jenna on here, but today we are going to talk about something that we don't talk about a lot, but I've been getting a lot of DM, and also too is currently we are doing a JV deal right now. I haven't told Jenna this, but the JV deal that we are about to do, it's probably the biggest JV deal ever, Jenna. It's $250,000. So my VA
Wow.
is a buyer for it already. And so now we're just waiting for the buyer to do their inspections and then obviously close. But today in this video, Jenna's going to show you guys exactly how to dispo. So which means, uh, I wouldn't say a lot of you, but some of you, this is your biggest hung up. You're saying, hey, Khang, now that I got a property under contract, how can I find a buyer and get the thing sold? Jenna's going to show you how you can get your thing sold within, I don't know, she probably can do it within 5 minutes or less. But let's just say a day. Let's get your wholesale deal sold in a day, and let's get your deal in front of thousands and hundreds of thousands of cash buyers nationwide. Also, too, is after we talk about how do you dispo your deal, become the most badass disposition ever, then we're going to talk about how do you leverage this software technology, how to do JV deals, access to the MLS, and Jenna's going to talk about that, how you can now target people and submit offer on market deal and how you do it the right way. Jenna, you want to take it over?
I like how you said you've been getting a lot of DMs. Does Lon know about all that? People sliding into your DMs like that?
Well, you know what? Fortunately, I have a lot more guys than girls that actually follow me.
Oh, well, gotta do what you gotta do to get your followers. Yeah, so let's dive into our software. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us, obviously. Good to see all of you. And let's see here. So let me go into my share my screen here. And if you can't see it, Khang, you got to yell at me here. So obviously, here's our software. So we'll talk about ways to get rid of these properties, because I hear this a lot with investors, especially newer investors, because we talk a lot about bottlenecks in real estate. And some of the things that I hear a lot is like they get nervous even to start marketing just in general, because they're afraid of, I don't know who to sell it to. I'm a wholesaler, but I don't know who to wholesale it to. And two different flavors of wholesaling that I like to talk about, and we'll talk about them. Obviously, regular wholesaling, which is where you do your marketing, you find a deal, then you start marketing to buyers, then you find your buyer and you wholesale it. Pretty much, plug and play, straightforward. Reverse wholesaling is kind of the opposite. So reverse wholesaling is where we're actually marketing for our buyers first. And you can kind of be a hybrid of both of them. You don't have to be one versus the other, but sometimes people don't even know that it really has like a name. But some people really like the reverse wholesaling route better because they can start marketing for their buyers first, and then they can get some good solid buyers in place. And then when they start doing their marketing, they can customize their marketing in markets where they know that that person is buying. And then they're just more confident making offers, knowing that I already have the person that I know that's going to buy it. So I've had different people say, you know what, I feel more comfortable doing it that way. Plus, when you're starting out cold calling, when you're cold calling other investors first versus cold calling random sellers, it's a little bit easier, just because they're fellow people that are like us. They're in kind of the same field. They're a little bit more willing and accepting to take our calls. So it's a really good practice run, so that whenever you then start doing your marketing in their markets, you're a little bit more prepared. So
sorry, can I also add something?
Yeah, you're the boss.
So for that, I'm actually not used to somebody call me boss, because I'm so used to calling Lon the boss. So when somebody call me boss, I look around and see what the real boss is. But anyways, also too, for those of you who don't know, who haven't been on some of the lives that Jenna and I've been on, but Jenna is so good at talking to buyers. So I'm also going to let her show you exactly, once you get a buyer on the phone, what do you say? How do you qualify them and sound like a pro?
Yeah, so let's dive into it. So we're going to talk about the ways that you guys can all do that. You can all find buyers in your system. So the cool thing about our software, the power of it is our lead engine. It's basically the heart of our system. So we're going to dive into our system and we'll talk about how you guys can get it, but just follow along to see if this is something that you feel would make your job easier. So we're going to dive right in here to our property lead section. And this is where we have access to over 160 million properties nationwide. But on the reverse end too, we not only have access to motivated sellers, we also have access to all the different cash buyers in our area. So all the different people that have bought properties in cash in our market, we can pull them as well and also start marketing. So it's not just for acquiring, it's for liquidating as well. So what market you want to go to today?
Okay, for everyone who's watching this, okay, this is your opportunity. Comment in your city or your states, comment in your market, and Jenna will walk you through this. And also, too, is talk about like reverse wholesaling. For those of you who don't know what reverse wholesaling is, it's exactly what Jenna was talking about. For some of you, maybe, hey, let's find the buyer first, see where they're buying, what property they're buying, and then you can just farm and start targeting that area. And then they're doing the reverse, right? Find your buyers, see what they're buying, where they're buying, okay? And then market in that and then start getting your leads. And then now that you have a buyer, just like Jenna said, you have more confidence doing it that way. For some of you, doing it that way. And she's going to show you exactly how to do that as well. Jenna's also going to show you exactly how to find the hottest, maybe the hottest zip code in your city that you can start targeting as well. So Jenna, you can pick. There's Las Vegas, there's Los Angeles, there's Toledo, Ohio.
Holy Toledo. I wonder how that expression. Did you ever hear that expression? Holy Toledo. Have you
No,
heard that?
I've never.
Oh, it's like an expression that we say kind of over here, like kind of like holy heck, you know, kind of like like holy Toledo, like. So
okay, I've never heard that. For me, it's holy cow or holy smoke.
Yeah. So I'm teaching you English today. I'm teaching you all of our slang phrases. All right, let's go to Vegas since was it Raju commented first. So let's go here. So let's kind of take a peek. Derek said, would we need to upgrade to the pro package instead of the basic? Absolutely not. Everything I'm showing you right now, everybody has access to. So if you already have our basic or our standard leads, you all have access to this one. So let's go ahead.
Okay, but Derek, also I want you to hang tight because Jenna is going to show you something, okay, that recently we just added to the software. So this is the one way of finding the buyers, and she's going to show you another way where, dude, it's going to blow you away.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's go to Las Vegas. I turned 21 in Las Vegas whenever I was I celebrated my 21st birthday, which I kind of was irritated because it's a 3-hour time difference. So I had to wait 21 years and 3 hours to turn 21 in Vegas.
So Jenna, so you just turned 21 yesterday?
A couple times ago. No, a while ago. But yeah, so I turned 21 out in Las Vegas. All right, so let's go to Las Vegas. So this is where it's going to show us all the different leads. So over 500,000 different leads. And then we're going to dive in, and you guys can do multiple cities too. Like, so if we wanted to go to Los Angeles as well, like you guys can type in multiple areas. If I can spell it, I'm like the worst speller in the world. I feel like if I spell it the same way every time, I lack creativity is what I tell myself. So we'll go with that. So we'll pick both of those areas. Okay. So between the two, we have 874,000 different people that are buying properties and they're buying them in cash. Now, I would recommend, though, if you are in multiple areas, you just kind of pick one first, just because if you're going to start calling different people, you're going to probably be like, I don't know, was this a buyer in Los Angeles? You know, you might kind of get yourself confused. But just to kind of show you, you can do both markets at the same time. And so we're going to go into our filters area, and these are our lead types. So these are our different ways that we can start finding different motivated sellers, as well as finding you'll see here at the top, our cash buyers. These are people that have bought properties in this area and they've bought them in cash. Now, there's going to be a mix of people. It's going to be, regular homeowners, husbands and wives, single people, grandmas, all these people that are buying properties in cash. And that is not who we're going after. Like, I'm not going to try to take my wholesale deal and go to great Aunt Sally, who bought a property in cash and thinks she's going to buy my wholesale deal. Like, that's not who we're going for. So what we're going to do then is, after we select our cash buyers, you'll see here at the top, there's ownership info. Now I can either click that, or I could just simply scroll down a little bit. So either way, and we're going to go to the owner types. Now you're going to see these are the different people that have bought properties in the area. So we're going to start out, we're going to we're not going to individuals because that's going to weed out a lot of those regular homeowners. We're just going to select businesses. So these are fellow businesses, fellow S corps, LLCs, aka investors that are most likely like us, that are buying properties and obviously buying them in cash in our market. Now, a downfall of this, because this is obviously the way that we can do this, and this is obviously included in your accounts. I will tell you, could there be a church on this list that's a business that bought a property in cash? Yeah, sure. Could there be a hair salon? Of course there could be. Does it happen a ton? Not always. I mean, you might get like one or two here or there. But they're mainly just investors that are like us, businesses that bought properties in cash in our area. So once we have this selected, we still have over 50,000 people. So the thing is, I don't care about the one time one investor bought some Carlton Sheets VHS tape and watched some video back in 1986 and bought a property. I want people that are buying them now. Like I want relevant right now people. So if we scroll down to this previous sell info, what we can do is we can look at the last time frame. So again, I don't care about somebody back in 2016 that bought one house, flipped it, and thought they're an investor. I want people now. So where we start and stop is going to be based on you and your area. So some of you may look at the last year because you may be in a tiny little country town like me in southwestern Pennsylvania, where you only have 6,000 people in your whole town. So we may stop there. But when we look here, we still have over 2,000 people. Like that's overkill. So let's look at maybe the last 3 months, because my goal would be to get somewhere between 200 or so. I mean, this is still big. I mean, of course, we have two different markets selected. So, you can go up and delete one of those markets out of it if you want to. But what we can do then is we can let's just look at the last month. So my goal is to, again, have somewhere between 200 people, somewhere around there that I can start reaching out. So this is perfect, 173 people. These are 173 fellow investors, fellow cash buyers that are like me, bought properties in my area. And I think one of the biggest things that annoys me whenever I talk to newer investors or any investors for that matter, and they're like, oh, I just don't have anybody to wholesale my deals to. We have 173 people right here in a matter of a minute. It took me longer just to explain to you what I'm doing than it even did just to find them. So, the thing is like one of my mentors, they told me whenever I got into real estate, they said, Jenna, whenever you're calling anybody or you're reaching out or you're trying to get people to work with you, always remember that we live in an instantaneous world and an incentivized world. So people want things done for them and they want it done yesterday. So anytime we call somebody, like let's say we're going to call a realtor or we're going to call these cash buyers, we have to stop for a second and think like, what would they want? Like, what would be a way that I could show my value to them? Like, I'm not going to like call them and be like, hey, I'm a brand new investor and I have like 55 questions that I've been hoarding all these years. And hopefully you have about an hour of time that I can sit and just drill you with all these questions that solely benefit me. Like, no, like we want to figure out ways that we can benefit them. Like one of the most important ways is leads. Like we're out there grinding, doing the hard work. We're finding the deals. We're negotiating the deals. We're getting these properties under contract, below market value deals that are unlisted, unadvertised, off market opportunities. And we're literally handing them to them on a silver platter. So people that don't want to work with us, they don't answer our calls. They don't respond back to us. We just don't resonate with them. Then we move on to the next one because we have 173 people right here that and the bulk of them, like you'll see here, like we can see the names of them. A lot of them are going to be obvious, like whatever this Meja Investments, Kingdom Investments, Neighbor to Neighbor Homes, Housing Company, One Property, Coral Key LLC, something investment group. Like they are like totally obvious that these are the type of property, like these are the type of property owners that we're going for. Like, and again, they're very recent within the last month time frame. So 173 people.
Hey, Jenna, can I also add something?
Yeah.
And that is, listen, for those of you, if you're stuck on coming up with names, please, all right? If you're going to come up with names for your business, all right, for your LLC, if you are a real estate investor, dude, please make sure that if I read your name, I know that you're a real estate investor. It can't be Jingle Bell LLC, bro. Well, what is it? So a lot of you, what it does is, as you can see, every single business that Jenna read, when you read the name, you know that they are a real estate investor. So when you talk to the seller, they'll be like, hey, what company, right? What company are you guys, or who you guys work with? It can't be it's Jingle Bell LLC, man. Right? It got to be something with properties, investment, Jenna buy houses cash, all right? Or Jenna buy property, something like that. The people, when they read the name, they understand that you are a real estate investor. Just an FYI.
Yeah. So, I mean, you want to have it something that's in there that's, a little bit more obvious for other people. So, but let me take you back here. So I'm gonna go back in here. I'm just gonna walk you guys through that.
Jenna, for some reason, your screen is not there anymore.
Oh, yeah, I turned it off. I was switching my accounts because I wanted to make sure that the one that I had the unlimited skip tracing option. So, so again, we put in our geographic locations. So you come in here very quickly, you put in your geographic location, you come in, you select your cash buyer. We're going to scroll down to the ownership info. We're going to select the businesses, and then we're going to scroll down. And in this case, what did we pick? Was it the last month? I think we did was it the last month? Or was it the last 3 months? I wasn't sure which one we did. Yeah, so the last month. So we have 173 different people that are right here. So again, they're pretty obvious. It's a lot of times if you see a church or a hair salon, you'll see it. It'll be pretty obvious. And it doesn't really matter if they're on there, because guess what? You're not paying for your skip tracing anymore. So it's not like that you're going to have wasted fees or anything like that. So now what we can do is we can literally start clicking on one after another. So you can see right here, like this part right here, I think has resolved such a huge bottleneck in so many investors' lives, because now before they would have to take this list, they would have to select them all. They would go into the My Lead section. You would have to pay, it was like 15 cents to be able to skip trace them all. And again, even though it wasn't a huge expense, it was going to be somewhere around $25 or something like that, it was still a deterrent. It was still something that it was just a bottleneck. And then you got your numbers back, and then you called them, and it just was an extra step. Now we don't have to wait. Also, you don't have to pay for that anymore, because obviously Khang is including that, which is huge. That's a huge benefit. Before, and anybody else that's on this video, you can attest to that. Before, it wasn't included. It's not just us trying to fluff your feathers. We didn't include it before. Now it is. So you can literally just click one after another, and we can say, we can see right here, this person, Christian, and there's Christopher and Christina. These are all the people that are behind this entity. When we skip trace, guys, we're able to pierce the corporate veil. So we can get the people's names most of the time who are behind the entity. So not only do we get their contact info, but now we also know who they are. We're going to get multiple phone numbers, email addresses. We also have their mailing address if we wanted to reach out to them, via a postcard or some sort of a direct mail piece. And all that we're going to do is we're just going to give them a call and reach out to them. And again, and it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to take this list of 173 people and start connecting with them now, so that way when you have a deal, great. Otherwise, people will wait till they find a deal. Then they'll take this list of people, and then they just basically will do one big mass emailing. Because you can take this list here of 173 people once it comes up here. So we can select them all. And then you'll see here, we can come in here and we can download it outside of the system. So if you want it on a really nice, on a CSV file, which you can convert to an Excel document or whatever, you can click on download, and you'll see here where it has, you can download their contact info. So we can click on this, and then what we can do is we can export it. And so we can literally copy the whole column of email addresses, put it in. I mean, there's ways that you want to make sure that you email appropriately so you're not flagged for spam. You might want to email a certain number of them at a time, or however you choose to go about emailing them. You probably want to research that, but we can literally email them out, and you don't even have to per se call them all. But it's up to you if you want to connect with them. And so what I would do is if I'm calling this person right here, Christian, let's say I'm going to call, and let's say he doesn't answer. Now, again, remember, incentivized world, instantaneous world. People want things done for them and they want it yesterday. So how can I benefit him? I can benefit him with leads and things like that. I can benefit him by doing the marketing for him. I can negotiate. I can analyze these deals. And so I'm going to call and I'm going to say, if I'm leaving a voicemail, I'm just going to say, hey, Christian, my name is Jenna Hoover. And some people choose whether or not they want to leave a last name. I always do. It's up to you guys, like whatever you feel comfortable. But I'll say, hey, Christian, my name is Jenna Hoover. I'm a fellow investor in the area. I'm doing a ton of marketing and advertising, and I'm getting access to a lot of off-market deals, a lot of unlisted, unadvertised properties. And I saw that you recently bought that property over on Brady Avenue, pretty recent. And first off, I wanted to call and introduce myself. I know your time's super valuable. So if you have maybe 5 minutes that you can give me a quick call back, I just wanted to see if you're interested in some more opportunities like that. My phone number is, whatever it is. And then I usually will say my name. Again, my name is Jenna Hoover. And again, my phone number is da 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 da. Like, I just am very quick. I always like to say, I know your time is valuable. So if you have maybe 5 minutes that you can give me a quick call back. Like if somebody left me a message or somebody calls or, leaves me a text and says, hey, do you have 5 minutes for a quick call? Yeah. Like 5 minutes. Yeah, I have 5 minutes. But if you're like one of those annoying investors that want to talk to me for an hour straight when I'm in the middle of doing something, no, I don't want to talk to you. Like, and it's very similar whenever if I get him on the phone, or him or her, whatever, I'll call Christopher and I'll say, hey, it's Christopher. Hey, is this Christopher? And like, and something that like is pretty powerful. Like one of my mentors taught me this. He's like, when you call a friend, do you say, hi, is Emily available? Like, no, that's weird. Like, you're like, hey, Emily, like, hey, what's going on? Like, that's how you kind of want to approach these calls. Like, hey, Christopher. And Christopher is going to be like, yeah. And I'll be like, hey, my name is Jenna Hoover, and I'm a fellow investor in the area. We're doing a lot of marketing and advertising in our business, and we're getting access to a lot of unlisted, unadvertised, off-market deals. Now, I see that you just recently, you guys bought that place over on Brady Avenue. And I just wanted to see, are you interested in any more opportunities if I find something that's kind of matches your criteria? Okay, you are? Okay, perfect. If you don't mind me asking, like, what's your ideal kind of a property? Are you into more single family, multifamily? What are you like? What would be best if I could bring to you? And then just listen to them, because then when we start doing our marketing, like let's say this person is in Las Vegas, then when we start doing our marketing, when we target Las Vegas, then we can come in here. And if they say, I only like single family properties, okay, well, I'm only going to look for single family properties.
Hey, Jenna.
Yeah.
Okay, this is something that I wasn't planning to do, but I'm going to do it for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end. So basically today we actually have a showing on one of our with our cash buyer. I've never worked with him before, but I'll get on the phone with him. I've never talked to him. Everything was through text, but I'm going to call him, okay? And I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to ask him some question, and hopefully you guys can get some value out of it and how you filter and qualify your buyer. But he seems to be legit. A lot of you said, hey, Khang, also too, is I've run across where proof of funds, right? Getting a proof of fund letters, build relationship with these buyers, right? And then when you run into an issue, when you run into a seller saying, hey, they want proof of funds, but I can tell you right now, 99.9% of the time when you're dealing directly with the seller, most of the time they would never ask for proof of funds. Only if that seller was once an agent or is an agent or has gone through the process of listing their property, working with an agent before, or they are an experienced, investor, and they would ask for that. But most of the time when a seller asks for that, I can tell you right now, 9 out of 10 times, they're probably not motivated to sell their property. You're probably not going to be able to get it at a good price. But if you ever come across that, or you're working with an agent and the property's listed and they need a proof of funds, that's when you reach out to your cash buyer and you'll be like, hey, Derek, hey, man, I'm about to get a property in the contract, but there's hung up. Dude, it's such a good price, okay? But they want proof of funds, and I don't have proof. Like, I don't have that. Derek, would you be able to send it over to me, man? And if you're able to do that for me, once I get this property under contract, Derek, you'll be the first one who gets to see it. There you go. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. And if you build relationship with that buyers, there shouldn't be any problem. I mean, I have done it in the past because for those of you who don't know, I got into real estate, obviously 12 years ago. I started out as a fix and flipper. So I understand the mindset behind the people who buy fix and flip property, right? They want off-market deal. Just like Jenna said, when you pick up the phone, you tell them, hey, dude, the first thing when I pick up a phone, when these wholesaler calls me, because I used to get call from them, right? Is that I ask them, is it on market or off market? And when they tell me it's an on market deal, I say, hey, listen, I don't have time. Why don't I text you my email and then email it over to me, or just text me the property address and the information? But if it's an off market deal, that's when I get excited, right? Because now I'm not competing with a bunch of other investors. Most of the time when they trying to get something that's on market, I know that most of these wholesalers probably don't have it under contract at a low enough price for it to work for me. Okay? So, because I submit tons of offer on market. So the key here is off market deals. When you pick up the phone, you can say that, dude, they'll love you. Okay? Yeah. So Jenna's just showing you one way of finding the buyers. Also, too, Jose also asked the difference between the basic and the pro plan. Jenna's going to also explain that to you in this video. Now, Jenna just show you one way of finding buyers. Jenna, show us another way to do it.
Well, first off, did you say you were calling somebody?
I will at the end of this video.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to keep them on here, Jenna.
No, I thought you were calling somebody now. That's
no. Oh, no. I'm going to keep them on here, and I'm going to call a buyer that I have never talked to. All we have been is texting. All right. And I'm going to get him on the phone, and I'm just going to talk to him. So hopefully it'll add some value to you guys.
You're wild today.
Yeah. I wasn't planned for it.
So, all right. Let me get my screen back on here, and we'll get rocking and rolling. Okay. So we talked about how we can go about finding these people, leveraging the way that we have built into our system. So one of the downfalls, obviously, with doing it this way is we're searching for cash buyers. So the problem is that not everybody buys properties in cash. So a lot of times you may use private money, hard money. You may use traditional bank financing. So if you're a buyer that's not only just buying in cash, you're not going to show up on somebody's list, as well as there's going to be a lot of buyers that won't show up on the list because.
Wait, I'm sorry, Jenna. So earlier, what Jenna showed you is that you have access to that, whether you have the basic plan or the pro plan. But what Jenna's about to show you, okay, this is an add-on. This is an upgrade in the software that you would have to purchase, but it's gonna allow you to access cash buyer that you won't be able to pull just doing it the regular way, right? The way that Jenna just showed you. And I can tell you right now, this is compatible with, I know some of you use like Investor Lift or some other software. Dude, those cost way too much. This is way cheaper. Those cost me like $5,000 a year. Okay, just an FYI.
Really? Is that what it cost?
Yes, 5G. I know.
I didn't know that.
Now that you do, this is going to cost you way less, but it give you exact same access to that.
Okay. All right. So let's pick our Las Vegas. So we can come in here and
so Jenna, we are going to cancel them, by the way, because now that we have this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go, something that we're going to talk about is one of our new features. It's called our investor leads, because again, we're listening to you guys. We're paying attention to things that are typically holding you guys up. And a big thing is just liquidation of properties, especially those of you who are wholesalers. I know the bulk of you guys are going to be wholesalers, but some of you are going to be kind of a mix. You may be, you also may be a landlord. You also may be a rehabber, things like that. But what we're focusing on here is ways that we can dispo our wholesale opportunities. So we're going to come in here. You're going to put in your geographic location. So in this case, we're going to put our Las Vegas, Nevada. So you can come in here and we're just going to search one area at a time. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to look at our rehabbers. So now, instead of having to go through all those additional steps and doing all those things, we literally have an opportunity to see all of the rehabbers in our market. So all the flippers. And I don't know why we call them flippers, because it reminds me of, you probably don't even know this show, Khang, but there used to be this show back in the 90s called Flipper. It was like this dolphin show. Did you ever see that? It was like this show with this dolphin, and every time I think of Flipper, it reminds me of that darn dolphin. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that show back in the 90s. But
So
anyway,
wait, hold on. So Jenna, this is a little bit off topic. But yesterday night, obviously, like Law and I, we talk about this when we're in the car, all the time listening to music, and we believe that the '90s have the best music, hands down, Jenna. Like,
yeah,
like I don't even know what's going on with the music in today's world, right?
I think it's
But
too
not,
fake anymore. Like
yeah.
everything is too like AI, too like computer generated. It was just so like real and raw back then.
Oh yeah. Dude, the music back then was just so good. And also too, it's Lon mentioned something like this. She's like, man, I don't know what's going on with Brittany and the other gal. What's her name?
Oh, I don't know.
But okay. So
sing me a song and we'll try to see if we can figure it out.
oh my gosh. Amanda Bynes, because they just went.
Oh,
Lon used Lon used to grow up like watching, Britney Spears and she's like, Khang, I don't even know what dimension we're on anymore. But please take me back to the '90s where they were just, they were beautiful. They sing great. Like it's just normal, But anyway,
well, she was an actress. She was a child actress. I don't think she was a singer. But
she was not a singer.
yeah, and there was somebody that I knew recently was posting some stuff about her and kind of like making some jokes and stuff about some like different celebrities. And I was like, actually, I stepped in and I got a little bit irritated at that. Like when people were kind of saying some comments, like we don't know what these people have gone through. They've kind of had some tough run at things. So hopefully they all get themselves back on track, But yeah, 90s did have some pretty cool music. But but back to our Flipper show. So we're going to go into our area. We're going to select our flippers, and then it's going to show us all the rehabbers that we're going to have in our market. Now, these are people that whether they bought properties in their personal name or whether they used an LLC, because one of the things, like one of the issues that we have is obviously when we didn't select the individual category because we were trying to weed out great Aunt Sally and the grandmas and the husbands and wife. The problem with doing that is that we also did weed out people that bought properties in their personal name that were also an investor. So like me, for example, I was just like some of my last couple wholesale deals, I was able to wholesale to somebody who's an investor who bought in their personal name against my better judgment of advising them. But the thing is that they just didn't have an entity set up. And so I'm going to miss some of those people. So the beautiful thing here in this side of the system is that we are able to target people, whether they bought in their personal name, whether they bought in some sort of a business entity, whether they bought in cash, whether they had some sort of a bank loan or hard money or private money or used their IRA or whatever ways that they bought a property. So this is our sure way. And then also, we're not getting churches. So we're not getting hair salons. Like we are getting all the correct people that are buying properties in our area. So of course we can do the same thing where we can say, show me all the people that within the last year time frame in this geographic location that are actually active at flipping properties. And then we can see we have about 1,000 different people right here. Now we can kind of play around with it. It's going to show us the more active investors first, or we can kind of flip it the other way. And it's going to show us the onesie twosies. So whoever Bobby is, Bobby bought one flip this year in the last year time frame. He bought it for, for 125K. He made 40,000 on it. But we can see,
dang.
Yeah, whoever Bobby is, Bobby had a pretty cute deal there. But you can come in here and you can click on any one of these. So like, let's take a peek at this Alpha Investment Group. So not only can we see them, we'll be able to see their contact. I think this account I'm in, I don't know if I have the unlimited skip tracing in this one, but we'll be able to see everything about this particular investor. So we can see.
Wait, so Jenna, it also show how much they make on it as well?
Yes. So we can see everything about them. So like this person here, their typical purchase price is somewhere around 334,000. Like this is really powerful because like, what if you have a deal that's like a $1.5 million wholesale deal, or, like where the purchase price is 1.5. So you can come back into this list right here and you can basically say, let's look at, average purchase prices. So you could come in here and look for people that have bought, on average, maybe a little bit higher price type of properties so that we're weeding out the people that really probably it's above their pay grade. They're not really interested in it. We also can look at things like, maybe only show me the people that have bought it, like at least 5 or more properties, or something like that, like really, trying to weed out the ones that are just the ones.
Hold on a second. Okay, so for those of you, the reason I'm shocked, you guys, because my VA is the one who actually run the whole entire show. Okay, so my VA runs the whole entire show. So let me show you. Let me tell you guys a quick one here. And I post this on Instagram, but obviously I don't want to post it yet because I don't want to jinx myself. But basically, we are currently right now in a JV deal that we are going to make dude, it's going to be the biggest JV deal of my life. So the deal is coming out to $250,000. That's the assignment fee. I think it's like a $1 million plus or some property. So JV is a 50-50 split. The wholesaler knows it. All right. So if we pull this through, my VAs, so basically we went through, we pulled the list of buyers, right? And then we found our buyer through investor leads, just like what Jen is showing you right now. So we got to buy for the deal, okay? That's going to make us $125,000. Just so you guys know how powerful this is, all right? And that JV deal, I don't even know anything about it. My VA does everything. So for those of you looking like at JV deal, you can literally hire a VA to actually help you with JV. It's called joint venture.
That's a pretty nice deal.
Oh gosh, Anna, if that deal closed, I'm taking Lon to California.
Say, what are you going to buy? What are you going to buy your wife? Because you know that she's going to be waiting for something.
Lon, man, talking about that. So Jenna, I mean, looking back, man, we've gone so far. I remember Lon, all of her jewelries is from Forever 21. She'll buy, like her necklace, her earrings, like everything is from Forever 21. And I mean, listen, she still buys stuff from Ross, Forever 21 and all that. But man, the chick got expensive. All right.
Doesn't he just buy like a really expensive necklace or something a couple months ago?
Yes. $115,000 diamond necklace.
See, so now you could get your return on investment right back.
So the next thing she wants, I remember, man, dude, guys, I remember it took me so long. This way back when I was working at a JOB. It took me so long, Jenna, to finally save up. I think it was roughly like I think it's $1,200 for our wedding ring, and that I bought it at Costco, $1,200. Now listen, for those of you who don't know, man, Costco has diamond rings up to like $500,000. Okay, you just got to go online. They don't have it in store, but it's all online. I find that out through Lon. Lon's sending me links at Costco. Lon's like, Khang, I want this. I was like, oh my God. But she went from, so that ring went from $1,200 to like a $5,000 ring. And then she got I think we also got her $15,000 and it went from $20,000. Now I think the one that she has is $20-something thousand. So the next one is going to be $100,000. So just so you guys know, but
how you're going to pay for it.
But when we close on that deal, I'm taking Lon to California because all I want, Jenna, is to eat.
What part of California?
We usually go to Orange County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we're going out to San Diego coming up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's get back here. So not only can we see everything about them, so we'll be able to see, first off, you guys will have the unlimited skip tracing. So you'll get their contact info. We can call them. We can see that in their entirety, they've done over 357 different renovation projects. Their average purchase price is somewhere around $334K, and they've made over $46 million in real estate. If we want to take it further, let's say that we want to see everything that they've ever done before, every property that they've ever been affiliated with. So now you can click on this and you can literally see every property that they've ever flipped, that they've ever had in some sort of an equitable interest, and get an idea of who they are as an investor. So these people, looks like they do a lot of single family properties. A lot of these are really nice high-end kind of renovation projects. So you can see a lot of these are probably the end buyers, like, they've already flipped and sold them, but they're, somewhere on the title chain that they've been affiliated with all these different properties. And so this is just one way. Oh, actually, let me,
geez, 46 million. That's follow.
Yeah. I think I accidentally unshared you. Yes, but so we can literally see everything that they have done. So let me try to pull this back up here. So let me pull this back.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to add it. Boom. There you go.
So if I click on view all, so let me share this tab here. So it will give us their entire portfolio here. So it will show us every property that they've ever, all 350 couple properties that they've ever, had in their inventory, flipped them, sold them, just to get a feel of who they are as an investor. So we can kind of look through them. But that's kind of how that works. So you guys can literally come in here, pick your geographic location, literally see. And so I told you I had something slightly up my sleeve that I was going to share with you. I wasn't telling you until we got on the call, but we're going to be revamping this coming up. So we're going to be having a new feature that we're adding to it. So if you already have this tool, you'll be grandfathered into this new feature that's going to be coming up. It's basically, I think we're calling it like our buyer match. So what you'll be able to do is, let's say that you have a property, you put a property in your database, you'll be able to click a button, a buyer match button, and it's going to leverage this investor leads tool and scrub through the investor leads and look for people who are buying in your particular market for typical price ranges that your property is valued at, and look at people that are buying recently, and things like that. And then it will be able to hand you a handful of investors that it feels that it knows would probably be your most ideal cash buyers for your deal, or your wholesale buyers for your opportunity.
Dang.
So now it's going to really, not only do you have this data now, but it's going to start to do it for you. And if you guys were on our call 2 weeks ago, if you weren't, I would definitely recommend checking that replay out on YouTube. But we talked about some really cool high level AI stuff that we just launched 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Hold on a second. Yeah. So for those of you, if you haven't checked that out, that video is actually doing pretty good right now. I'll leave the link to that video in the descriptions for those of you who want to check it out. But Jen is also going to show you exactly how some of them work on here. But Derek said it's a game changer. Derek, this is a game changer. So for those of you who wants to get investor leads, it is an upgrade. So you would have to go into whatever Jen is showing you, and then you have to click there, and then you have to pay, and then upgrade it.
Yeah. So you just go to this little upgrade section here, and then you'll see here the investor leads. You'd see it somewhere in there.
But it's a one-time payment. Just an FYI.
Yeah. So you guys, anything you guys add, it's a one-time add-on. So you have it for the life of your account as long as you have your account. So the way that I look at it, like, because I always hate when somebody tries like selling me something and it's like I just don't like when I don't like feeling like I'm being sold or taken advantage of. The way that I always look at something is, what will my return on investment be? Like if I look at it as I'm making an investment in my business. And if I have a certain tool or a software or a resource or some sort of an education, how long will it take me to get it back? And I look at things like, if I got one more wholesale or two more wholesales or 10 more wholesales, I mean, and think of it in the life of your real estate career. And if you're able to do more because of something, then obviously it's worth your return on investment. Otherwise, if you're not prepared to do some of this stuff, then focus on putting in your funds in other ways to be able to do something else that's more current for you. But
I want to add on top of that. So recently I saw a video from Mobi, and I can totally relate to this. So for those of you who don't know, Mobi pay Uncle G, I think he paid Uncle G like I think he paid him $140,000 for 4 hours. $140,000 for 4 hours. So I think Grant went on, obviously went on social media and said that within not even 4 hours, it was just within an hour period, I guess Mobi said, hey, he got the information that he needed. He doesn't need the last 3 hours or whatever time it is. You see, that's how high level people play. They go in, they just need to get one thing from it. That's all they needed. But for a lot of people, like, this is why it separates between the winners and the loser, because the loser be like, dude, I got to use up that 4 hours. But for Mobi, he said, dude, I don't need to use up that 4 hour. I already got what I needed within that first hours. So he didn't care about it. So for me, the same thing. I pay $18,000 to go to this mastermind and another $30,000 to go to another real estate mastermind. And every single quarter, right, the mastermind that I paid $30,000 to go to, they take some of the biggest real estate investor in the country. Like some of these guys and gal guy, man, they're doing a couple $1 million a month. Like I'm the poorest guy. I am the poorest in there, which is good. I get to learn from everybody. So when everybody comes at me, like they'll be like, they ask me, I say, dude, no, I should be asking you a question. But anyways, you know, every single time we meet, so we pay $30,000, we meet 4 times a year. And every single time when I go there, dude, like I don't show up to class sometimes because I just need to get one piece of information. That's it. Every single time when I go, Lon and I just wanted to get one piece of information, whether it's an idea, whether it's a systems, it's a software, or whether it's a connection. But I don't show up to class every single day because I just wanted one thing. But some people be like, oh man, I paid $30,000. I better go to every single class and be there every single hours. Not me, dude. I just need to get one thing and I'm done. It's because it's already paid for my investment. So the $18,000 that I paid to go here, it made me a connection that I made more than the $18,000 investment. And that's all I needed. So the reason I share that with you guys, because I want you guys to obviously shift your mindset. You know, how can you go from, hey, oh my gosh, Khang, I can't make a decision. I can tell you right now, most successful people that I know, they make a decision very, very fast, and hardly they change it. If you don't believe me, listen to Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill actually talks about that. He said successful people make decisions very fast, and when they do, and they usually never change it. Just so you know, okay? So that $18,000 investment, I got a phone call from the guy who actually run the mastermind. Dude, I'm a very straightforward guy. I went on the phone with him. This is what I said. I went on the phone with him. I said, okay, so how many times do we meet a year? Boom, okay. And this is what I do. Do you believe it's a good fit for me? He said, yes. I said, how much? He said, this. Done. He's like, Khang, do you want to know more? Should I say? No, I say, no, dude. That's exactly what I said. I said, no. I heard enough. That's all I needed to know. And then bam, made a payment. And the next thing you know, Law and I was there. And because of that investment, dude, it made it way more return. Like it went from $18,000 to pay to like making more than $18,000 a month just from that one investment. Just so you guys know. Okay. So for those of you who wants to get rich or who wants to, you know, do better and make more money, but you couldn't even make a decision on $149 investment. This is my point. But when you go and drop it on a pair of shoes, it's a no-brainer. Oh man, yep, buy it. You go out to dinner. You don't even second think, oh man, that dinner. Right? You be like, yep, I'll pay for it. But when it comes to investing yourself or into your business, you're having a tough time deciding. And that is your problem. That's why you are where you are, because of who you are, because of the decisions you make. So I need you guys to understand that your thoughts dictate your action. Like what goes in here, dude, dictates your action. And your action, man, produce the results, the fruits that you're eating today. And if you don't like it, man, if it's too sour for you, you better change and you better plant something new. So now okay, I shouldn't say this, but Lon has a friend, okay?
But I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, but I'm going to do it anyway. But I'm not going to say any names. But Lon has a friend, okay? And she would call Lon and text Lon, oh my God, Lon, I'm broke. I don't have any money, yada, yada, yada. But the next thing Lon see on her Instagram is she's out, you know, having dinner with her sister, having dinner with her friends, having dinner with her brothers. Like they go out and they go ball out. And she's taking vacation trips. Like, dude, and you tell me you don't got no money? Come on, man. Shit. And I'm telling you guys, man, and some of you can relate to this. You have friends and family member who borrow you money or who, you know, just leeching off of you and all of a sudden, or who owes you money. And all of a sudden you see them partying, clubbing, drinking, and spending all the money that they could have used to pay you. But they choose not to. And they say they got no money when you come and ask for it, okay? So which means you need to change your circle of friends. And I'm telling you right now, sometimes strangers root for you more than your friends and family. I'm telling you right now, most of your family member, dude, they want to see you succeed, but but when you become extremely successful, dude, there's going to be envy. There's going to be jealousy. They are not going to, they secretly want you to fail. Just so you know.
I hear you. On that.
Go ahead, Jenna.
I always heard that there was like 3 levels of success. Like in the beginning, when you start doing something new, a lot of them are going to laugh at you and they'll kind of mock you and kind of say things like, "Oh, okay, well, let me know when you're rich or you're famous or something like that." And then, then, I mean, and then like whenever you kind of get a little bit further, so like in the beginning, they'll kind of laugh at you and then they won't believe you. And then kind of fast forward, I won't spend a bunch of time on it, but then at the end, like you're going to have an opportunity where they're going to ask for help and they're going to, and you have an opportunity to reach your hand back down and stuff like that. So it's your call on how you want to, handle that situation. But there's a couple different levels of success. Like there's, different trainings and stuff like that I've been through on that. So again, in the beginning, people are going to laugh at you and they're going to doubt you and they'll make fun of you. And then, you kind of have the success. And then that's whenever they'll go to you and be like, "Oh, aren't you fancy? You think you're good for everybody."
Okay, hold on.
And it's like,
yeah. Okay. So, okay. Since Jenna say that, I want you guys to understand this. And I think this is also the time where we need to look at we need to look at the other person as well. So you listen, when you're confident in who you are, like how good you are, how successful you are, like, like when you're confident in that and you're like, "Hey, God gave me all of this." And dude, when you're confident in that, you don't need to, like, confidence is great, but you don't need to go to the point where you're bragging it to make the other person miserable. For example, I get this, my sister texts me and she texts me, she calls me, and every single time when she's on the phone with me or when we chat, I always tell her, she's like, "Khang, so, I heard you this." No, I say, no, I'm working all the time. But she doesn't know that, dude, like I have so much like the thing is, like, now that I get, like, I'm busy, but I'm busy with doing the things that I want to do, spend time hanging out with Lon. We go for an hour drive. We go for an hour, 2 hour, a long walk and hang out with the dogs. But when she texts or call me, because she's like, "Oh my God, calling you this and that," but I don't want her to feel bad. Like maybe the life that I have, maybe it's just not good for, right? But I don't want to like rub it in her face every single time when she calls me, and then she's talking about, "Whoa, now you're fancy." Just like Jenna said, "Oh, you got the Rari, this, that." I say, "Yeah, but I'm stuck with the payment, Lock." That's what I said. I said, if I don't work, you don't have to, but I do, right? So what I'm saying is a lot of times just kind of humble yourself when you talk to others. Just make sure that you don't make them feel so bad. Because a lot of times, I'm telling you, your friends or your families, when they see you succeed and you talk about how much money you make to them and this and that, some of them are just not happy for you. And you just have to accept that, right? But then for me anyway, I try not to rub in their face because I don't want to ruin their day. Because a lot of times it's hard for us to look at other people, especially the people that we know that's close to us. And it's hard for us to not compare ourselves, right? "Oh, they're doing so great. They're this." But you need to understand, comparison is the thief of all joy. Dude, I've done it in my own life where I look at some of my friends where I'd be like, "Dude, I don't even want to look at their Instagram. It's pissing me off right now." Right. And then obviously that's when you have to go in and you have to recheck your mindset. And it's like, it's hard sometimes, but I don't want to be that person to obviously do that. Hopefully that makes sense.
I hear you on that. I don't know what it is about real estate that people feel that they have the, I guess, the justification to ask you what you make on stuff. Like, I mean, like, when would you ever go up to somebody that had like another job and be like, "How much do you make a year?" But for some reason, when you're in real estate, people think it's okay to ask you what you make. So I usually just don't answer that one. So that way they don't even have to worry. So what else do you want to talk about today?
Okay, so Jenna, we talked about, okay, so now, so Jenna just showed you guys, there's 2 ways to finding the buyers, right? There's a way where all you do is, as long as you have access to the software, you can pull your buyers list that way. Now, if you want an upgrade, which is going to cost you, I think it's like $1,500 or so to upgrade to get to investor leads. Now, Jenna, can you explain to them very quickly, what's the difference between the two? Like, why would they need to go in there and pay the $1,500 to get access to investor leads when they already have the software that they can pull their own cash buyers?
Yeah, I mean, it's all based on just the time you want to put into it. Like, if we were to come in and we were to go back in here and do it the free way, when we come in, we're going to select these different, we're going to pick our cash buyers. Again, the only downfall with this way is that anybody who has like any other investors in your area that are buying properties with mortgages or hard money, private money, other ways, we're not going to find them. We're only able to pull cash buyers. So that's, I mean, like, even though we say we buy properties in cash, if we have a private lender, there's a mortgage attached to it. So they're not going to be on our list.
I see.
You know what I mean? And so
Yep.
other things too is like if we go into the ownership and we're picking businesses only, of course, yeah, you could put individuals on there too, if so that we can try to, find people that are buying properties in their personal name that are also an investor. But it's going to be a big waste of our time because the bulk of the people in this category are going to be just regular homeowners.
I see.
So the other way is like we're going to get people, whether they bought it in their personal name, whether they bought it as a business, but we're pulling real rehabbers in our market, whether they bought it in cash, whether they bought it with private money, whether they had whatever it may be. So it's just a little bit easier. Plus, we can see their entire portfolio with the paid version. We can see their average purchase prices, how many properties they've done, average profits, just to see how serious they are as an investor. Sometimes it's nice just to be able to weed them out, because if we're locking down a property with somebody and I see that they've only done one project all year long and they didn't really make anything on it, I'm going to be a little nervous to pick them as my end buyer if I could pick somebody else.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it gives you the ability to kind of research them a little bit differently. Again, is either way, start out. You can always start out with this version, get into the software and start playing around with it. Like I've had so many different people have success with this free version. It's just, you're going to sometimes put a little bit more time into it. And sometimes we may have some people fall through the cracks that since we don't have the ability to look for people with their mortgages and things like that in this area. But otherwise, start out with this version. And then if it's something that you feel like, I'm doing some more deals, I need to be a little bit more efficient, I'm going to go with that other version, the investor leads option, where I can go in there and just very quickly see all the investors. I can see what regardless of their financing type, I can see their entire portfolio, and I'm going to reach out to them and contact them that way. So either way.
So Jenna, so now, okay, so for those of you, okay, you must have the software to get access to investor leads. Investor leads, it's an upgrade, okay? But it's a one-time payment. All you need to do is, Jenna, can you show them really quickly how to go and upgrade? After that, I want to have Jenna showing you guys how to can actually leverage this software, also do JV deals.
Okay. So if you go to your left side navigation, you're going to see there's an upgrade, and then you'll see here where it has the investor leads.
That's it. You click, it's going to be a one-time payment, and then you have it for the lifetime of the software. As long as you have the software, you have access to it. So Jenna, now let's talk about JV deals. How can we find deals that's on here that we can reach out to other wholesaler and start JVing?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we have something in our system called our wholesale marketplace, and we're actually going to be rebranding it to just our deal marketplace, because we're going to be able to have opportunities for you guys to post all of your deals, not just wholesale deals. So if you have retail deals, stuff you just renovated, and you want to post on here, basically we have over 200,000 people that use our software every single month. And so when you have an opportunity, you can come into any area. So like, let's say that you're somewhere in Florida. So you come in here in Florida, you'll see before you ever even get to all the different leads in Florida. So we'll probably have hundreds of thousands of different leads here that will pop up. They'll be the ones that will come up here in white here. Like, so there's over 7 million different leads here we can take a peek at in Florida. But before we even get to those, you're going to see that there's going to be some different properties that will show up here in blue. And these are properties that fellow investors, just like me and you, have come into the system, and they are advertising their properties in our database. So our wholesale marketplace, you guys, if you have deals, so not only can you contact all the different cash buyers and fellow flippers in your market, you can literally take your deal. It's $100 for 30 days to advertise your deal in the system. You can literally come in here, advertise your deal, and it will show up at the top of everybody's screen for the entire state that your property is advertised in. So if you have a deal in Florida, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other deals that you're competing against. Like, that's how, like, this is very new that we started. It's maybe like a couple months old that we started advertising this. But this is going to be huge. Like you could take your deal and you're competing against 5 other people to get in front of 200,000 different users. Like, and so somebody could come in here, they can click on this and contact you, and then they could reach out to you regarding your deals. But if you want to talk about JVing, like I post, like when this first came out, I wanted to beta test it just to see how it worked. And so I posted some different deals that I had. I was able to wholesale both of them. But I had a ton of people that reached out to me. Probably within the first day, I had 11 people that reached out to me wanting my deal. And I'm in southwestern Pennsylvania. I'm not even in like the hub of the world here. And then I had a couple of the people that were like, you know what, I really don't want your deal so much myself, but would you be willing to JV? If I find you a buyer, would you work with me? Heck yeah. So you can literally come in here. Like, let's say that you're in North Lauderdale, Florida, and you come in here and you're like, okay, you start looking at this deal and you're like, this is a pretty decent deal. And I have buyers in this area. You can contact the seller and be like, hey, you want to collaborate on this? Like, I have somebody I think that would be interested in buying. Like, you could literally come in here and JV with these people, or you could post deals and have people reach out to you to JV with you. So this is going to be our new platform here that we're going to have, that you guys can advertise your deals, collaborate with other wholesalers, really do some really cool, powerful things.
Okay, so here's one thing about JV deal, okay? It's that in the time of you trying to find your own deal, so right now I have a VA. All she does is every single day, and you can have a part-time, right? Hire VA part-time, pay them $4 to $5 an hour, work 5 days, 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, and all they go is they go into the software, and all they do is they go and look at all the deal that's currently under contract, click on contact seller, which is contact the wholesaler, and reach out and just say exactly what Jenna just said. Take their deal and then blast it out to your buyers. Maybe you have buyers that obviously does not have access to the software, or maybe they have access to the software, but they don't have investor leads. And you can take that and then blast it out. Whoever brings the buyer to the deal is a 50-50 split. They already did 50% of the work. JV is a great way for you to never have to talk to seller, right? You don't have to talk to seller. You don't have to try, negotiate the deal. There's already a deal. And now you just bring a buyer to the deal and you get 50% of the cut. Now, I need a lot of you to understand this. Go back to, what Jenna was talking about, like Mobi, the story of all of that. Some of you be like, oh man, Khang, I pay $149 and I get this. Trust me, I get this message. Oh, Khang, I just pay $149 for the software, man, but it's been 30 days. I haven't found anything. Okay, man, I don't know, dude. Now listen, okay? Let's just say you go for the next 3 months. How much is that? I don't have a calculator on me, but $150 times 3. So what are we talking about? 300 or $450. Okay, for 3 months. See, a lot of you don't understand that. It's that all you need is one deal, my friend. Like I've never met, like even my students, or I've never heard of a wholesaler that made $500 on a deal, whether it's JV or whether it's your own deal. Like the minimum is probably 5 to 10K. So even if you spent that next 3 months, like, dude, if you don't get a deal with the first month, you don't get a deal the second month. What if the third month you got a deal? It would have paid for the entire, it probably pay for the entire year or 2 years of the software. So you guys are not thinking, like a lot of people just think in terms of like, oh man, this month go by, this month, dude. All it takes is one yes. And if you're, let's just say you go for the entire year, 9 months in, you use the software and you still haven't got a deal, and all of a sudden, bam, you land a deal. It would have paid. Without, let me ask you, without the software, would you have done a deal? The answer is no. So all you need is one deal to pay for the lifeline of that software and some. I'm just saying, so a lot of you need to get your mindset straight when it comes to investing into yourself, and into your business, because some of you are scared to make the investment, but you're okay with spending $150 or $250 on a dinner, on a pair of shoes or pants or a shirt, whatever it is, that doesn't even pay you anything. Okay? So JV is a great way to also close a deal. We have students that he's like, Khang, I don't want to talk to seller. I'm just going to go and JV deal. And that's what he does. I think he just closed his first deal, his first JV, and I brought him on YouTube and did an interview. He made like $13,000. I think he closed actually 2 deals, but together like $13,000. And he said, Khang, I've never had to talk to seller or negotiate. Just, it's just another way to make. So now, Jenna, let's show them about access to the MLS. and how you can leverage AI and just tell it to like pull you a list.
So you want to do that? Talk the AI?
Yeah. So this is now Jenna's going to show you guys basically these are property that is listed on the MLS if you want to target listed property, but you got to, you can't just target every single one of them. Jenna's going to show you exactly what to look for.
Yeah. So if we want to go into a geographic location here, so like let's say, let's just pick one of my favorite markets, Jacksonville. So let's go to Jacksonville, Florida. You guys have, and this is everybody's accounts.
Hold on a second, Jenna. One thing here. Okay. Platinum Real Estate said, I have one deal. I'm having a hard time. Now listen, I show you the software. I show you where I get my buyers, but just in case those of you be like, oh man, Khang, I still can't do it. Okay. Email your deal over to jvdeals@wtmfam.com. My VA, okay, just email over the information about the deal. She'll do the research. If it's a deal, she'll reach out to you and we'll help you find a buyer for it. And it's a 50-50 split. Don't negotiate. Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, so you're just going to put in your geographic location, and everybody has access to the active listings. So you guys can come in here, and we have over 4,000 different actively listed properties here in our system. So again, depending on the version of your software, if you do have like our more advanced version, which is our pro version, you can have things like vacancy, and you can, combine your list and create these like these stacked lists if you want to do something like that. Or you can come into this listing info and we can put in like specific keywords like investor special, helps if I could spell, TLC, cash, as is, handyman, like all those different kind of words that we want to focus on. And so we'll take that list of 4,000 different people here, and then we'll narrow it down to 400. Like the ways that I like looking at them is properties that either hit the market right now today or properties that are at least 30 days old on the market. So these are just different ways to try to find more motivated. And again, obviously, if we do have that more advanced version and we can look at properties that are vacant, then we can come in here and we have 31. Like we went from 4,000 to 31. So these are places that we know that have been on the market for 30 plus days. They're vacant. And most likely they're going to need some work here, but we can kind of look at some of these different properties and start considering making offers. Like let's take a peek at this one right here. Like, we see it's listed. It's been on the market for 32 days. Investor special. We can come in and take a peek at all these different images, but really like what it's listed for. I mean, we can look at that, but really we're just going to come in here. We're going to pull our comps. We're going to see what it's worth. You can estimate your repairs here based on looking at it. I mean, we can walk.
I would have submitted an offer on that one.
What is it?
So for those of you who's watching this, I would totally submit an offer on this property right here. Now, Jenna, I also want you to do something really quick is, can you also explain to them, because earlier someone asked me, what's the benefit about, getting the pro account? So with the pro account, you guys have access to the AI that will allow you to do what Jenna's about to show you.
Yeah. And I have a couple more minutes that I can show this to you guys before I have to jump off here. But and we spent our whole, that's why I said, check out our video that we did like 2 weeks ago, because we focused on this the whole time. Because if you guys get the pro version, you're going to have this, it's almost like a real estate assistant where it's literally going to tell you what it thinks you should do on these. Again, it's still AI, it's still technology, but it's basically like having an assistant. It's going to tell you all kind of stuff about it. The fact that it's actively in pre-foreclosure, it's delinquent taxes, it's vacant, it requires cash or hard money only. Obviously, it signals a highly motivated sale. It talks about, like the bed and bath information. It tells you about rental incomes. It tells you like pretty much a lot of, it says the property has been flipped multiple times and recently went through a deed in lieu and foreclosure. I mean, that's pretty cool to know. Yep. But I mean, and this is our first phase. And I didn't even think I told you this, Khang, when we were on our call, because I didn't even know this till like last week. Our first phase, this is our first phase. Phase 2 is coming out pretty much like very, very soon. Like, I mean, we're hearing like some of the phase 2s have already came out this week, but other parts of our phase 2, it's going to actually collaborate with our comparable section. And it's going to help you come up with your after repair value. It also will scrub through these images, and it's going to work with our repair tool to be able to give you its opinion on the repair numbers. and then basically tell you what it feels that you should offer on these properties. Like, I'm not saying it's going to do the job for you, but we are literally very, very close to making it to where it's going to tell you the after repair value, and it's going to tell you what it's going to cost to fix it and what you should offer on these deals. And if it's an off market deal, you can upload images to the system and it will still scrub through those pictures for you.
Okay, hold on a second. For those of you who don't understand how good you have it, before that, I would get on the phone with the seller. I'll talk to the seller. I'll be like, okay, so what needed, right? And then I'll do my research. I'll do my calculation of foreign repairs, right? Try and figure out, and then I got to run my comps, right? To figure out what the property's worth. And then I got to do my wholesaling formula to figure out what I can offer to the seller. So Jenna, you're telling me that this software would do all of that for me with the click of a button.
Yes. It's really cool. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. And then we have our chat feature. So you could literally click on this and then you can verbally tell it, like how we just went in there. We just basically asked it to find us all the cash buy or all the active listings that have the keyword investor special listed. We could literally just have verbally said that in 2 seconds and then had it pull that up for us instead of even clicking all those different things. And then it gives us an analysis of that entire property. It pulls in tax data, AI technology. It's pulling in previously listed images or the description. It's going to show us before and after images if we can pull them, if it's ever been sold in the last 5 years. It's so high level the way that we're taking this. I mean, it's going to be super powerful. It already is super powerful. But again, if you have those investor leads, you'll be able to see everything that this seller owns. So like the fact that we can see this is who owns it, but now we can see everything in their portfolio right here too. So I can look through their entire portfolio.
Okay. So now watch this. Jenna, can you tell that AI assistant to say, hey, pull me all the cash buyers that's actively buying in the last 3 months in Las Vegas, Nevada?
And let's try to do that. So
watch this, guys.
So let's see here.
So once again, you would have to have a pro account to be able to access to the assistant. I have to let 2 of my assistant go because of this.
No. All right. So we can just say, show me all the cash buyers in Las Vegas, Nevada that the previous sell date was within the last 3 months. And again, my grammar may have been a little sloppy there. So
this is insane.
We'll see. If my grammar, if it was able to understand my terrible English.
And watch this, guys.
Here we go. So there was 2,158 cash buyers in Las Vegas. The previous sell date was in the last 3 months. Okay. And then we could just open them right here. Like if you want to open them, then we could just pull them up right here.
And then, hey, can you tell that? Oh, there you go. You just pull it right there.
Yeah. Okay.
So now here's another thing. Jenna, can you tell it to be like, hey, what is the hottest market in Nevada to wholesale in, and what's the average price? And pull me a list of, let's just say, tax delinquents.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do it here. Like we have this new feature here, our heat maps we talked about before. Like we have this Signal AI right now, so we can basically look. We can take a peek in the Vegas area and get a feel, but we can see the flips per county, or we can even do it by zip code. So I can show you right here, like in this area here, like maybe that's not the best one here. I don't know why they're showing us negative numbers. So there's 78 flips right here in this market. People made about $62,000. We can zoom in a little bit. Like we can literally see, the different, there was only one flip here, but somebody made 1.5 million on that one.
Jeez.
I don't know why people are losing money over here. So there's 15 over here, but I mean, we can ask it. It may not be able to tell us the, the best market, but we can, because it, may not know how we consider best. But we can say we can just ask it about the Las Vegas, the Las Vegas real estate market. I can say, can you tell me about the real estate market in Las Vegas, Nevada?
Can you ask it, like, what's the hottest market, or like which market in Las Vegas, Nevada that has the most cash buyer?
Oh, we could try. So, so Las Vegas, it just tells us about the market. So it has 522,000 properties. It gives us average price. It gives us all the different absentees, all that kind of stuff. We can ask it about, which is the hottest real estate market in Las Vegas, Nevada? So, good.
Okay, so for those of you who's watching this, if you want to see like a more of a detailed training on how Jenna actually used the AI, I'll leave the link in the descriptions. Okay, and the title to that is how to make your first $100,000 wholesaling real estate leveraging AI. But you guys, once again, this needs to be a pro account, not the basic account. But
yes, it's basically saying it's subjective and it depends on your specific investment goals. So like we can come in here and you can tell it like I'm more of a wholesaler, and you can tell it what some of your goals are and you can save it. So then it's going to start to know a little bit about you. So like I can basically say, show me the best properties in Las Vegas, Nevada to wholesale. And then it will start pulling our AI because it knows now that I'm more of a wholesaler. And like you can even tell it like when there's a section where you can tell it your goals. So it has here, there's 24,000 different properties that are good candidates for wholesaling based on their AI scores. So then so it basically shows me, do I want ones that are high equity? Do I want ones that are free foreclosure?
So hold on. So based off of that, now Jenna can say, hey, pull me a list of whatever it is. And then, hey, can we set up direct mail too, right?
Yeah. So we can even say, like, let's say, can you show me the expired listings in Las Vegas, Nevada?
You guys' expired listing is a gold mine.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you can pull up, like you can even ask it like for keywords again, like, and it's learning, like the more that, let's see here, there's 1,500 expired listings. So it gives you kind of an average, like obviously there's a lot of them to look through, ones that are vacant, ones that are recently delinquent. Like you can ask it things like, show me all the properties in Las Vegas, Nevada that are delinquent taxes. Or whatever you want to look for again. And it's going to start learning your behavior, just like any chatbot that's out there. The more you use it, the more it starts understanding what you want. So there's 8,691 properties that are recently delinquent on the taxes. And then we could say, out of those properties, which ones are vacant?
Ooh.
So of course, like you could pull them up right here, but it's going to start. And then also there's like a history of it too. So there's right here, there's 656 Las Vegas that are both delinquent and currently vacant.
And then after that, Jenna can also tell it to set up direct mail campaign, right?
Potentially. So that may be part of our phase 2. So but like let's see if we can.
Because I think last time you were able to do that.
So let's see here. Can we set up a direct mail campaign on these leads? Let's see if we can do it. I can identify, let's see here. I can help you identify. I can but I can't directly set up a direct mail. This is probably our phase 2. But you could literally come in here and you could open them up in lead pipes, and then we could literally shoot them over and do a direct mail campaign. But phase 2 is going to be, some really, really high level stuff. But like we have our history here. So like everything you do is saved. So if you ever wanted to come back in and start building off of it, or if you wanted to start deleting something, you totally can. But it's going to pull in images. It's pulling satellite images. Like it pulls in agent contact info. Also, since you guys have the unlimited skip trace option, you have the ability coming up here in our phase 2 that it will start giving you the seller's contact information right here in the chat. So you don't even have to go in. Like if I just say like, show me the data on 123 Main Street, it will pull up the data and the seller's information so you can contact them right away. So if you're driving around, you see a crappy looking house, you put it in the system, it will tell you everything about it with a satellite image or a front image of it. And then here's the seller's information. So you literally have to dive in.
Hey, Jenna, do you think this is something that the team also might be working on in the future where, let's just say that we're targeting on-market deals, right? And, they pull the list and we gave it all the keyword. Can we tell the AI to like, hey, I want you to start submitting offer to all these property to the agent. And then maybe we have a form that's already pre-fill out, and then they can just start shooting an email and submitting an offer to that agent.
Yeah, so we were talking about that kind of stuff. So, like we had talked about integrating with like a e-signature company.
Yep.
To be able to do some things like I don't want to get too many secrets for you guys, but we are talking about integrating some title companies too. So we could start doing some title searches start doing, some seeing some high level stuff on these properties, like seeing what liens. I mean, obviously we can already see what liens are on them if we have our lien data, but we are able to do some things like that. Like we do have a paperless office in our system. It's obviously part of some of our more advanced packages, but like you have the ability that you can kind of put in, kind of create, like upload your own document, and then it's like these different fields that you can put in, like, your purchase price, the names, and then it kind of puts it together. And we're trying to set something up to where then it shoots it out, because that is a gap. Like that is like one of the bottlenecks that I do bring up to our development team. Like we need the offer part, here. So we are working through that.
Perfect. Well, Jenna, I don't want to hold her anymore. So Jenna, thank you so much for taking time to jump on and actually do this. I really appreciate you. So for those of you who stay, I'm going to call the investor, and then let's have a chat with him. Thanks, Jenna. I appreciate it.
All right. I'll see you. Have a good weekend.
Bye, Jenna. And if you guys have any questions regarding the software or the sign up, let me share with you really quick how you do it. But also too is, I think once they come out with where you can submit offer, you tell the AI, hey, pull all the lists of anything that's on the market that has, like Jenna said, hey, that has investor friendly, fixer upper, handyman, or something like that, like all the keyword, and then telling it to submit an offer at a 30% off or 40% off to all the agents without you touching anything, without you going to the email and do it manually. I'm telling you, man, because real estate is a numbers game. And listen, I have seen someone that have done this, but I'm just saying, if they were to be able to integrate that into the software, and it seemed like it's something that they're working on, dude, that would be a game changer, because you don't have to do it. You tell the AI what to do. You go on your hike. You go on your walk. You came back. They just submitted 200 offer for you. Once again, it's a numbers game. What if one agent responded and said, hey, listen, I think my seller would take that offer. And then bam. Dude, and this is something that we also train you in our academy with the software. You get Jenna on one-on-one. There's more hands-on coaching, mentorships regarding this. For those of you who want to take your wholesaling game to the next level, who wants that hands-on coaching, join my Wholesale to Million Academy. Just go to coachwithkhang.com, and love to take you under my wings. Okay. So let me call the investor, just like I promised. Okay. All right, TikTok, I got to log off. I got to use my phone. So head over to YouTube, just type in @realkingkhang, and I should pop up on there, okay? So let me call the... Okay. Oh, man, look at my sister. My sister just sent this over. I haven't shared this on any other social media. But guess who? Which one am I? My sister just sent this over to me. And this is way back when we were way back in Vietnam, man. YouTube family, you get the first shot at it. Guess which one am I? Well, obviously I'm not the girl, right? But I'm the baby. Man, dude. I can't look at this picture anymore, man. Miss my brother, man. Anyways, let me call the investor. Man, just my mood. So I never talked to this investor before, but I'm doing it for you guys. He's probably shocked that I called him. We've never talked on the phone. But I like sending like voice text.
Hello, you've reached Ryan.
Like I usually like to. Oh, he's calling back. No, that's not him. I usually, do voice text. I hate texting.
Hello, you've reached Ryan at 81.
Oh, okay. He said okay. Okay, so he's on another line. Anyways, he was going to call me back, and I was going to, obviously I'll show you guys how to filter and qualify the seller or the buyer. But let me call the seller. I have a seller that I talked to yesterday that I'm gonna call. Like I want to add more and more value to you all. As much value as I can. We're spending a lot of time together today. I truly want to see you guys win and succeed.
Hi.
Okay, so I have to call him back again. Okay. Now listen. Okay. If you go, dude, if I wasn't on a diet, now listen, my goal is not to lose weight, but I want to maintain the lean. I want to build muscle and all that. So you got to eat pretty clean. You can't be going out and eating junk food and expect like to burn it off. Like you can work out 7 days a week, 5 hours, 6 hours a day. But if you eat bad, there's no way you'll be able to burn that off. And Lon's also on a very strict diet. Otherwise, man, Lon and I would have a way more like funner, I would say, way more of an awesome life that I can share with you. Because literally, there's nothing holding me, Lon and I, back from traveling. Like right now, I would have been in California eating. And then next month, I'll probably go to Florida. And then again, I'll probably go, like, Lon and I would have traveled way more. But once again, you know, it comes down to is sacrifice. Like, what makes you really happy? So, you know, Lon is like, you know, for her weight is like like her happiness, you know, like, you know, being overweight. And if she's making all the money, we traveling, but inside, you know, she's not happy, then it's not worth it. Right? It comes down to what truly makes you happy. Otherwise, Lon and I would have traveled, dude, guys, way, way more. Like you would have seen me, dude. You would have seen me living the life that you'd be like, dude, is this even for real? But I can tell you right now, otherwise, like right now, Lon and I are like our life is pretty boring because when we're back at home, and Lon and I have to stay back at home majority of the time because we, you know, so we try to, you know, like I said, because of our diets. But it's hard. It's hard. Like I understand that when you travel, you can still choose to eat healthy. But man, it's hard. It's easier for me, but it's extremely hard for Lon. It's very hard for Lon. Like I have a faster metabolism, but Lon doesn't. And so for her, it's just really, really hard. Otherwise, dude, man, Lon and I would have traveled like almost every other month. And I would have shown you guys the life that you'd be like, damn, bro, I want to wholesale. So every time when we close a big check, dude, like Lon and I used to go out to Canada all the time. Go up to Canada. We would have freaking eat like a feast. Like, dude, our meal would come out to like 300, 400, 500. There was a time where we went to Canada and I ordered this king crab. The king crab alone is $500. And Lon and I would do that like every weekend because we're making so much money. Like, what are we going to do? Right. And I remember that, this is way back when I got into, way before I got into real estate, I like going to a restaurant and I couldn't even order a spring roll. It wasn't in our budget and it was $1.50. And I remember telling God that, dude, if I make it to the top, God, I want to be able to go to a restaurant and order whatever the F I want without looking at the price. And I can tell you right now, the best thing about being a millionaire, man, or financially free is, for me anyway, is being able to go to a restaurant and I can order whatever the F that I want. So from now on, when you guys see me at a full restaurant, I always, man, get my spring roll, whether I eat it or I don't. But I order it because, dude, looking at that spring roll, man, it reminds me 20-some years ago that I can't afford it. I'll be like, F you, bro. And I always order one and order two, man. Always, dude, with whatever meal that I eat, man. But that's the best thing about, you know, for me anyway, is being a millionaire. But I can tell you right now, I'm the type of guy that would always choose street food over fancy restaurant. Always choose street food over fancy restaurant, man. Fancy restaurant, dude, there's nothing good about it. I like to sit in the street with my leg up and freaking like eat the way that, you know, real caveman eat, you know. So that's why I love to roam. Like when we were in Hawaii, I love to go to the street market. Like, that's what Lon and I do, dude. We love the street market. Like, we're not those people who like, oh, always dress up really nicely and you will never caught us in the streets because we got an image to protect it. We have no image, bro. Our image was we were born poor and we were broke. That was the image. So Lon and I, dude, like, you will see it, dude. Street food, man, street market, negotiate with them. That's what I do. But the one thing I don't do anymore now is when I go to the street market, is I don't negotiate anymore. Because I know how it feels, right? They don't make that much, right? So Law and I don't negotiate anymore. Even, dude, but even if sometime I will negotiate, but I end up paying for the price that they ask, just for fun. Like, I love negotiating, right? But yeah, that's why Law and I do. That's why I post a video of me sitting in a fancy restaurant, and they're like, dude, this guy doesn't even know how to eat a steak, because I want mine to be well done, right? And then the way that I hold the fork, and they'll be like, oh man, this guy's as gay as can be. Couldn't even hold a fork. And I say, dude, I'm not a fork guy. I'm a chopstick guy. Come on, man. Shit, bro. I don't use fork. I use chopstick. All right. And I don't belong in fancy restaurant. I belong in the street, baby. Born and raised in the street, homie. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, that's the one thing about like fancy restaurant, dude. Like, for me, it's like, it takes too long. The food is just not worth it. It's not as good. The street food, dude, it's cheaper. It's good. It's not about cheap anymore, but it just tastes better. Like, Lon and I, when we're in Vietnam, like, all these people about going to a fancy restaurant, Lon and I, every single time when we go to a fancy restaurant, we're like, oh my God, we should eat something before we go. Because it takes forever for them to bring the food. Okay? But anyways, who can relate to that, man? Who can relate? So anyways, I can't call my buyers because he's busy. I try to call the seller. Let me call the seller one more time. What the heck? Okay, let me try to call the seller.
Hello.
Hello, happy Friday. Is this Will?
Yeah, this is Will.
Will, happy Friday. It is Khang.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Will, I call you back with some news, and I just want you and the wifey to think about this and just let me know if it's work or it doesn't work for you. But based on our conversation yesterday, Will, I went to my team manager, and like I said, Will, I want to do everything that I can to get you guys as much as you can, and hopefully we can make it work for you and work for us as well. But I want to share this news with you so you can talk to the wife and then decide if it's something that will work or don't work for you guys at this time, okay? But I don't want you to take this as any kind of obligation, okay?
Okay.
So, Will, I know, so I went there, and I know that originally when we talk about that you want that $450,000 as a walkaway to you. Now, I was able to get that approved from my team manager. And he's okay with coming from 430 up to the 450. This is net to you, walk away. We pay all the closing costs, all the fees, pay off the mortgage, so you don't have to worry about. So I just want to share that with you, and you can talk to the wife about it and let me know if that's something that will work or won't work for you. Or if there's a price that will work for you guys, just let me know. And like I said, I'll do my best to try to fight it for you, okay?
Yeah, she's not here right now. Matter of fact, she has a pretty extended, she had to go in today for a bunch of blood tests that was all scheduled for time. So
nope.
She's been gone since about 11, and I don't expect her back until at least 3:30 or 4.
Not a problem, Will.
Because it was something extensive. They were going to do some extensive blood tests. We're not worried about it too much,
sure.
But she's dealt her whole life with being somewhat anemic. And,
I see.
And she's a small gal. She weighs as much as 150. Right now, she weighs 119 pounds.
Wow. Okay.
And I weigh 300. I weigh about 300. Well, I'm a little over 3. No, I'm at 260 right now.
Oh, there you go.
I was at 383 at one time, and but she's even though I'm 6.5 years older than her, there's a chance that excuse me, 5.5 years older than her.
Yeah.
There's a real chance that I may outlive her. She's not. She does everything. She's functional and everything else, and she's lost the weight, but she has some medical problems, and but she still cooks. She won't even let me cook hardly anymore. And I'm a better cook than she is. Well, I'm as good anyway, as good a cook.
Well, she sounds like an amazing wife. Well,
she's an amazing lady.
Good.
She's a terrific lady.
Well,
and to spend 51 years with me, and
you're a lucky man.
Well, we'll be married 49 years come the 28th of November.
Well, congrats.
The 28th of August, and then we will be together 51 years come when we met in the 25th of January coming up. So come 51 of January, we'll be together 51 years.
Well, I can say this is that you are a very, very, very lucky and a very, very, very wealthy man. Like, I would give up everything in this world just to be with the right woman. So you hit a lotto ticket, Will. Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. So, I mean, like, my prayer goes out to her. I hope that everything will, turns out really, really good in her favor, and everything like that. And like I said, I got the news, and I just want to share with you, Will, and you can just chat with the wife over it, and let me know if something that will work or won't work for you guys. And if there's anything I can do, just let me know, okay?
Yeah, I think we're still going to be a little out on that too, because we just got woken up and we found out what it was going to cost. We thought we could replace what we had in mind to do for about $200,000 less than we can do it for.
Okay, so you guys would need to. So you guys probably need to walk away with closer to what, Will, like 600,000?
I think probably, yeah. We'd like to be between 560 and 6.
Okay,
and
so 560.
One thing I don't like either, if we're going to close on that, and then it still takes me a couple months to move out. I don't think I'm going to need 3 months. I think I can do it in 6 weeks.
No problem.
But I'm not going to pay $3,000 a month on a piece of property that I don't own no more.
No, that makes sense.
I don't think that rent should be there, and I don't think it's right, because you can't move out from being someplace 50 years overnight. You can't do it.
Yep. So so Will, here's something that I want to be clear on, and I want to give you that peace of mind. So what we can do, I'm just saying. So I know that you need to be at least about 560, right? Is that what you said? That's the least that you need, right?
That's about the least, and we're going to try to shoot for 6, because that's about to have what we want left for slush money.
Yep.
Is about the cheapest we can find anything we want. And if I can't find 31 years of paying this astronomical rent and payments I'm making,
then it's not worth it.
I'd have $1 million in the bank right now if Wells Fargo 15 years ago hadn't sold this contract.
They really mess you up.
It screwed us out of almost $1 million.
Unbelievable.
About $750,000.
I'm sorry.
We had a loan with Wells Fargo that started at 3.5%.
Right.
And it had only gone up. It still was barely 4%. And that was 15 years. That was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
And now, our payment at the time, we were paying a flat $1,600 a month every other Friday on that loan. It was $552,000 loan, I believe.
Yeah.
We still owe. We just got it this last payment a couple dollars under $300,000 that we owe on the house.
Yeah.
And
so
it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
We pay $1,200.
I hear you.
$1,489.20 every 2 weeks, and we get about $270 on the principal.
Yeah, that is no good. That's no good.
That's rapery.
Yeah, I know.
That's nothing but a rapery. That is legal rapery.
I agree with you.
How a government would allow that to happen to a medium income family is beside me. With all the benefits they give to people that don't deserve it, they don't give the people that have never screwed the government out of anything.
I agree with you.
Lived a good life, and they screw us to death. And that's why
I hear you on that, Will.
Between leasing and buying.
Right.
We just want to have what we have left, something to leave.
For
2
sure.
of the 5 kids. We've lost 3 of our 5
Yeah.
kids.
I hear you, Will.
We want to leave them something, because it's a struggling world for them too.
Sure.
And they work hard. They're good kids.
For sure. So,
Good
Will,
adults.
And that's the reason why I will continue to fight for you. And like I said, I don't know if it's even possible or not, but I will continue to do my best. So to get you up to that 560 or 600,000. And
Yeah.
the one thing I do want to let you know, Will, is that when I talk to you about we can close on it, so that way you don't have to make the monthly mortgage payment. So what happened is that we can close on it, and then we will allow you to stay in the property for whatever time that you need, all right, without making a payment. So I just want to be clear with you on that.
Yeah, I think it common sense, and I don't know what the law is on it, but I think common sense. You can't get somebody that's been someplace for 50 years, and even though not this house, but we've been on this property for over 50
Yep.
years.
No, I hear you.
And we sold 2 places already off the property.
So
I was just alarmed.
Yeah.
When I started looking at prices.
No,
we're probably going to
sure.
try to look for something. We're probably going to try to look for something in Skagit County.
Yeah, I think that's going to be your best bet.
And Skagit and Whatcom County are both a lot better counties. Whatcom's a little further away than I want to get from here, but I really like the Mount Vernon area, and
I agree.
I like LaConner is nice. I've got friends in LaConner, but their taxes out there are almost as bad as Snohomish, if not worse. And Snohomish is a terrific town. It's a terrific mid-sized city. It's got everything, but it just costs so freaking much to live here. Yeah. And my wife has lived in Snohomish all but about a year, all but about 9 months of her life.
I hear you. So yeah, no, Will, I hear you on it, and I know what's your goal and what you're looking to do with it, with the property. So I completely understand where you're coming from, and this is the reason why I will continue to do my best to fight for you and to try to see what's the best that I can get to you, if we can get up to close to that 600,000 for you. So I'll continue to do that. And like I said, I can't promise you that it's something that will work or not work, but I will continue to keep you update on it. But what I do also want to let you know that when I talk to my team manager, that he will understand that if we do come to an agreement, then you know we can close, and then you can stay in the property without having to pay anything out of pocket. Okay. And I will do my best, and I'll keep you posted. Okay, Will?
And I'll keep you posted of what's going on also.
Thank you so much, Will. You have a great rest of your Friday, okay?
You betcha.
Yep.
Thank you.
Tell the wife I said hi. Bye, Will.
I will.
Bye. Dude, he's 80-something, but his hearing is, bro, his hearing is amazing. So anyways, I appreciate each and every single one of you guys that are watching this. I truly hope that this video will add some value to you and will help you obviously make your next move. And all I can tell you is scare money, don't make any money, right? If you want something you never had, you got to be willing to do things you have never done. And if you continue to do the same thing and expect to get a different results, that's insanity. So which means if you have tried this on your own, you're trying to do it, maybe you're trying this way, that way, but you haven't give the try that we just show you, then maybe you should give it a try. Okay? And if you like, hey, Khang, I have been trying to do this alone on my own, but I still having a tough time doing it or getting it done, getting my first deal or getting my next deal. Because I've seen people who close a deal and never close another deal before because they got lucky on the first one. And you want to be able to consistently close a deal once every month. I will share with you exactly all the strategy on how we do it. And this is for those of you, once again, who's looking for a coaching or a mentorship. There you go. Okay. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, I truly wish that, you know, I want nothing but the best for you. And I want to see you guys win. And I want to see you guys succeed. And I want you guys to experience the financial freedom. The freedom, like yesterday night, when Lon's like, dude, Khang, you know what? Well, what I love the most about our life right now? I said, what is it? She says that I don't have the alarm clock anymore. Same here. Dude, it's the best feeling. Like, I remember, man, looking at that clock every single night, and I was scared of it. So if you can experience, I want you guys to be able to experience the life that I have, just so you can get the taste of it. And dude, I'm telling you, you will never want to ever go back again. And you would fight so hard to keep it and to keep rising to the top. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you guys the best of luck. And let's go get this money. I'm out.